History shows again and again how nature points out the folly of man. Hello, my name is Spencer Malcolm, and I just finished watching Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Written by Zach Shields and Michael Dougherty, directed by Michael Dougherty, and starring Godzilla as King of the Monsters. Who, after making his existence known to the world after leveling San Francisco, defeating the parasitic Mutos at the end of the last movie, well, not the last movie, the last Godzilla, well, you know what I mean. He is forced to return when an eco-terrorist group led by Charles Dance unleashes Godzilla's ultimate enemy, King Ghidorah, who threatens to take Godzilla's crown and cause widespread death and destruction across the face of the planet. And it's up to Godzilla, along with Cryptozoological Agency Monarch, to take Ghidorah down and restore the balance of nature. Now, I grew up on Godzilla. Final Wars was my all-time favorite movie as a kid. So seeing characters like Mothra, Rodan, Ghidorah, and the like in a big Hollywood picture, and getting someone like Michael Dougherty, who definitely knows how to make monster movies, is pretty exciting for a Godzilla fan. And yeah, this movie was freaking awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, it's stupid, but so is some of the best of Godzilla. Yes, the original 1954 film was a dark and disturbing allegory for the nuking of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but Godzilla has changed a lot since then. Bob Chipman over on The Escapist and Emma from Spooky Astronauts have some great videos about how and why Godzilla has changed over the years that I really recommend you check out. But for now, let's get back to the current movie and talk about the good, the bad, and the Mothra, I guess. Anyway, let's start with the reason why everyone goes to see these movies: the story and characters. The lead humans are Monarch scientists Mark and Emma Russell, played by Kyle Chandler and Vera Farmiga respectively, as well as their daughter Madison, played by Millie Bobby Brown. Alongside them are Ken Watanabe and Sally Hawkins from the first movie, as well as O'Shea Jackson Jr., Thomas Middleditch, Bradley Whitford, and Z.E. Zong. I think that's everyone. Quite the cast. So how are they in these roles? Pretty good, for the most part. Vera Farmiga and Millie Bobby Brown were incredible in their roles. They somehow did actually manage to play off this absolutely ridiculous scenario where they were trying to get giant monsters to fight each other with the weight and gravity you would expect in like a serious drama instead of, a Godzilla movie. Now, Kyle Chandler, we'll get to him, but the supporting cast, Ken Watanabe is again and great. Bradley Whitford was a ton of fun. Z Zong's character is essentially a walking Easter egg for Godzilla fans, but her character was pretty interesting. Charles Dance did run the risk of coming off as just generic bad guy, but he was able to imbue the character with some charm. O'Shea Jackson Jr. and Sally Hawkins weren't in the film much, but they worked well with what they were given. And Thomas Middleditch was fine. He could have been a bit better, but his character didn't ruin anything for me, and again, he's not in the film very much. Okay, now let's talk about Kyle Chandler. His performance did get much better as the film went along, but in like the first 15 to 20 minutes, he did come off as rather one note and kind of off-putting, just constantly going on about how much he hates Godzilla and how he thinks all the giant monsters, or titans as the film calls them, should be destroyed. His character does have an understandable reason for why he thinks that, and again, he does get much better as the film goes along, but in the beginning it just didn't really work that well. Though I feel like the main reason for that is more the writing than his performance. The writing in those first 15 to 20 minutes are rather wooden and really exposition heavy. I swear, there are scenes in the beginning and to a lesser extent and throughout the entire movie where a character has a whole PowerPoint presentation loaded up with the entire history of another character or monster, and the entire scene is just them giving this PowerPoint presentation. But after that 20-minute mark hits, it's pretty much all my problems involving the writing either completely go away or become lesser issues as the film goes along. And after that, my only real problem with the film is that there's a character that dies, but the way they die is just like so quick. Like you're unsure of what just happened, and in the next scene there's literally a screen that just has a picture of their face, just with the word deceased right on top of it. It almost made me laugh how abrupt it was. But aside from that, this movie was great. All of the stuff with the monsters was absolutely breathtaking. The visuals are jaw-droppingly gorgeous. The monsters are presented as having really unique personalities. Like Ghidorah's 3 heads are shown to have like 3 different modes of thought, and like one snapping at the other. And it's Bear McCreary's score was incredible, remixing classic Godzilla themes with a more modern sound. The fight scenes are truly epic, appropriately conveying the sort of Clash of the Titans feel of just these living forces of nature just punch each other through buildings. It's honestly kind of hard to talk about the monster stuff without just turning into a little child going, this was cool, that was cool, that moment was really cool. I honestly feel like this movie could be like a gateway into filmmaking for young kids. Aside from the first 20 minutes, the movie strikes a great balance between well-crafted story and characters and the spectacle of giant monsters fighting. And it could potentially awaken a swath of new filmmakers and storytellers like many of the earlier Godzilla films have done for people like, well, me. Godzilla King of the Monsters is an awesome thrill ride with some truly awe-inspiring set pieces and a stellar cast of characters that does stumble a little bit in the first act, but quickly they picks up and soars right after that. And I'm going to give it an A-. If you liked this video, you can show it by pressing that little thumbs up button down there to please the algorithm. And if you want, you can subscribe and hit the little bell notification to find out when I next upload in the next 5 years. I am trying to get better at uploading things faster, but life tends to get in the way of stuff like that. I'm Spencer Malcolm. Long live the king.